Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Gunnar Anderson. I'm going to be reviewing the final game that David played against, or the final loss. We do see he actually ended up winning in this game, but I'm asked to record the losses only, but props for winning that one game. So we got a Scandi, as usual. It's kind of what David plays every single game. And here, Queen C7 is a bit premature. It would have been better to play either bishop f5, like the computer is begging for, or bishop g4. But queen c7 is not like a huge inaccuracy. Bishop c4. Now knight bd7 is already a bit bad. You should not play this move without developing this guy. So he should have played bishop g4, or bishop f5 is more commonly the case when you have like this pawn here. Although I have seen the bishop going to g4 as well, with good effect. So those are probably the two moves that you would often play. But knight bd7 is a little bad just because it blocks this guy. He's kind of sad. So queen e2, e6. And yeah, e6, it is playable if you're going to play b5, bishop b7, a6, c5. However, what we'll see on this next turn is knight b6 just shows that he doesn't quite understand the correct way to play his pieces. Because after knight to b6, yes, you're attacking the bishop. It has to run away. But now you cannot develop your bishop properly on c8 because you cannot play b5. So the game continues. In g4, it's actually a pretty nice move, I think, because if you take, then this position is terrible. You do not want this position. And let's just say he continues with something such as bishop to d7. Knight e5 is going to be really, really irritating. Because if you castle now, I take on f7, and then this guy becomes extremely weak. So, let's say, though, that black plays rook to f8, just protecting the f7 pawn, right? That seems reasonable to me. Now white is going to play something like knight e4, perhaps, or he can also play a4. He can also play even bishop g5, and then play like queen f3 next. And the idea here is he just wants to open up the f-file. If this knight ever runs away, then queen h5 is coming. Or maybe take first, and then we can play queen h5. We're attacking both. And it will not be a good result, I would say, for black. And actually, there is an interesting option, which was, let's say that black plays here now. And then let's say black says, okay, I don't want this knight here. This knight's annoying. True. He plays, and this is another reason, by the way, that I don't like knight b6, is because now he can play knight e5 unmolested. But okay, let's say he goes here. Now, actually, this is even strong. Knight f7. So, okay, this is a big threat, and on paper, you would like to capture things back, so we could get this position. And if king f8, this is mate. If king g7, simply queen e7 is good enough, but you can also play even rook g1 first, and then you can play a nice sacrifice to checkmate the opponent. But let's say that he retreats to e1, which is actually the best move. Now we play rook e1. And here, there is not a suitable way to defend this bishop. So, for example, queen d8 gets defeated by queen f7 checkmate. If you play knight f8, just, bringing up a double attack on the queen, this guy's in a pin. So I'm just going to take on f6, and black loses. So h5 made some sense, but it would have been better to just castle, although even this position is very, very hard. Because the knight on b6 is bad, the bishop on c8 is also bad, and white, all of his pieces are pretty good, except for this guy, you could argue, but even this guy is controlling the g5 square. Maybe knight e5 is a little premature, though, because there is this option. So he'd have to take like this, which is a little bit gross, but it's probably still fine. You can play c4, c5, or you can play some other moves, too. But another option would be knight e4, and then you can just play for c4, and you can play knight e5 next, so white really just retains all of the advantages of the previous position, but he does not get his pawns messed up. So h5 kind of accelerates the end because it weakens this square. g5, knight d5, and again, this knight is great, but this guy sucks. So that's why white plays knight e4. Or sorry, he should play knight e4, I think, but he played g6 instead. In a different game, he did play knight e4 in a similar structure, though, so my apologies for getting confused. But g6 is also very strong, just knight e5 is coming in. Knight f4, gf, king f7, knight e5, and yeah, this is cut. So a sober decision would be to go back, but you're still down a piece, so you could resign in good conscience here, but queen takes e5 was also fine, but it was met by queen takes e5 and bishop takes f4. Better would have been knight to d5 from f4, I mean, but at the same time, this is so bad that... Okay, you're already down a queen. So, black basically lost this game, I would say, because he didn't... First of all, the Scandinavian is a little bit of a tricky opening. I feel like black has to play better than white to get even a decent position. In the Petrov or in like e4, e5, I feel like black can just make a few mistakes here and there, or just a few inaccuracies, and it'd be fine, but here it's just like the game ends. So queen c7 is already slightly inaccurate, but bishop f5 is how we could have played, but knight b d7 is again slightly inaccurate. And then e6 and knight b6 were pretty bad. So at this point, white's already significantly better, and then after this h5, the game was losing, objectively speaking, for black, actually. And white went on to win the game. So yeah, thanks for watching.